Hi guys, here we are in Dallas, Texas with PPG. This is another deck profile with Justin Rios. Justin, how you doing today?
Good. Just finished the 3v3 that Pro Play Games had for their tour in Dallas.
And today you played
Green BR Bro.
Green BR Bowling. All right, cool. Why don't you give us a little rundown of the card choices that you had today, and then we'll talk about maybe how the deck played and some instances.
So everything's organized. I played 3 of the one drop Broly. You can search it. So playing 4 is a little too much. 4 of each Broly.
The chain.
Yep, and the secret, the Broly secret.
The secret. How'd you feel about the secret?
The secret is very, very good. Very good.
Busted. It's a little expensive. Do you feel like the deck is maybe it's a win more card in the deck, or is it necessary to play? Like, what kind of advice would you give on what thoughts you have?
I think the deck can still be played without the secret rare, but the secret rare in the deck just gives you lines of play where you can win games where you probably shouldn't have won. You also see a lot of cards too, so it being a one of is like you still have to find it, but you do see a lot of cards. So.
Yeah, the deck self-awakens really fast, and you do just go
and the
through.
leader can draw up to 6 cards max.
Right, so you see it more often than not.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, let's continue.
And then for the Paragus, there is 4 of the 2 drop, 2 of each 1 drop. Again, you can search it with Broly, and 4 of the Paragus super combo.
And then you went ahead, the 4.
And then I played 4 Goliathite. Not a lot of people play 4 Goliathite with the Broly even splashing yellow. And this card is just an insane payoff for being this leader. Because it's essentially a super combo, because the leader just redraws the card that you combo with this. And the fact that you can split it up is very good too. So I played 4 of this, and then
I see you played
weeks.
some yellow.
Yeah.
9 yellow cards in total?
Yeah.
How was that today? Obviously, being a bloodless leader, it pays off.
Being a bloodless leader is insane. Like some of the best turns for this deck is usually just play this on 1, charge a yellow on turn 2, play this, untap your yellow, and you have the 6 drop Broly plus bloodless available. So that was very good. A good reason why to have yellow.
What do you think about the number of yellow cards you played? Was that ever a factor at all in the games? It's only 9.
No. Usually you just need 1 yellow. Everything in the deck costs a single green, so there's no Nimbus or Battering. There's not enough yellow to support that. And there was 3 Whis over 2 Frieza's Call. Though Frieza Call has a lot of selection in how you can get this or this or this or even this.
Was there a specific reason that you played the Whis over maybe
it's
anything
very
else?
good against the most popular deck in my opinion, which is Super Shenron. And it's also a 5k combo, which is very important because there's a lot of extra cards, and sometimes you just need to see a different card when you're on the backside.
Right.
Leader, so.
And the deck just seems like it functions well off 1 mana also, just a lot of the plays and lines that you could take.
A lot of the deck runs, it usually just runs on max 3 energies.
Right, okay.
And then the rest of the extra cards. There's 4 Death Ball, it's a free negate. There's 3 Mechanism, can't really play 4 because of how many extra cards again. Tragic Awakening, the same, can't really play 3. 2 is enough, because you see a lot of cards in the deck. And then the yellow.
And then the yellow. How was Frieza's Call today?
Very good. There was actually a line where I had 4 mana, and if it wasn't for Frieza's Call, I wouldn't have been able to make it, because it involved the 2 drop Paragus getting the Mechanism, so I Frieza's Call, the Broly, and I was also at 3 life, so if I drew the secret rare on the back, I could have played it. But I Frieza's Call, this Broly, I Paragus to get the Broly Mechanism, I sack this, the 1 drop to put the 4 into play, and then a Mechanism, the 4 drop to the 6. My opponent did have a battle card, so I can pop my 6 and his battle card to go into the 8, and that leaves me with the green up. So, and I believe I didn't have a hand afterwards, so I would have drawn the full 6 with the leader. So if I did, which I could, draw one of these or one of the remaining of these, and the secret rare, I could have also played the secret rare that same turn too. So.
All right, so but the deck is very, very good, very busted.
Yeah.
Do you think, in comparison to the other decks, this deck has a degree of difficulty or maybe lines of play that is not favorable to people who don't get a lot of reps in with the deck? It's not a very autopilot deck. I hear some people say it is, but I look at the deck and I see how it plays. I've seen you play it, and it just seems like there's a lot of lines, a lot of things you need to do. You need to think ahead and mitigate certain aspects of what your opponent can play and all these things where it's harder than it looks.
Right. I think there's usually just a fair amount of games that you play that it's you play this on turn 1, on turn 2 you try and go into the chain, so you want to make sure you see these pieces, which the 2 drop is really good at. and you just go from there. But I feel like the majority of the decision trees in this deck comes from what you discard off for the 6 and an 8. And also, again, like when to Bloodlust, when to like take a life for Death Ball. So,
Right. And you played this today, but yesterday you played Super Shenron, and you finished 19th, right?
yeah, 19.
19th. And would you change anything? Like, would you have maybe played this deck instead? Because this you did really well today with this deck. I don't
Yeah.
think you might have dropped one game, maybe.
Yeah,
I think it was.
It was one game that mattered. So.
Okay. But you would have still played Super Shenron. I know the mirror is pretty.
No, yeah,
pretty
the mirror
bad.
can
And
go into time. Yesterday, I got 2 draws. One of them was in a mirror, and I was gonna draw. We were just gonna draw in game 3, and then I drew with a skillless Goku. He was dead on my turn 3, but they called it 10-minute marker. And so
right,
it
and
ended up
the deck just takes very, very long to.
Yeah.
Okay.
definitely not healthy for the game. Too.
No,
So
no,
hopefully
not healthy.
Just get slaughtered.
All right. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right, Justin. Thank you so much for the deck profile. Any shout outs?
I do actually. Shout out to Pro Play Games and Ultra Pro for being the best sponsor. I would like to thank a very close friend of mine, Juan Brand. He's right here.
Oh, Brand, how you,
This
Juan?
is his entire deck. He lent it to me. It's
Oh yeah,
foiled out
it's
'cause
all
he's a
foiled
fiend.
out. He's a fiend, guys. This deck is all fully foiled out. Everything, everything foiled.
And then the last shout out I have is for Nestor. He's a close friend of mine.
Nestor, I know that guy. That's my boy Nestor.
He lent me the entire Super Shenron deck, and if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been able to play it. So I do appreciate it.
Shout out Nestor. Shout out the boys, Renee, DBS Squad, Miami, Florida, PSN. All good. We'll see you guys when we get back. There's another deck profile by Pro Play Games. Justin Rios here. Thank you guys. Signing out.